everybody, my name is Cheri. Welcome to my stamp studio. We are going to continue on trying to get through all of the designer series papers that are on sale. I don't know that I'm going to get to all of them, and in a couple of days I will do a little, well, it won't be a couple of days. There's a few more papers. I'm going to do the birthday paper today, and then I'm going to try to get to the Earth and Elegance and Zany Zoo. I have a whole bunch I still want to get to, and we're running out of days of June. Summer just goes way too fast, especially when you're busy. But today, on today's video, I am going to show you a couple of different adhesive options when you use die cuts. I'm going to show you some of the new specialty paper that's not on sale, so it's a whole little mishmash of things. We're going to start with the beautiful balloons. This is the stamp set that goes with the paper that I'm using today. And I don't know if I have the backing in here. And I don't have all of the pieces. Well, it looks like there might be a backing in here. So this is a really fun set of paper. And I get these on Amazon. Every time I pull something out of these, people are like, where do you get your things? These are just holders. And then the things that I keep my embellishments on, these are passport holders. So every single time they show up in a video, you all ask where I get them. So this is the paper I'm using today, and it is called the Bright and Beautiful 6x6 Designer Series paper. It is on sale in June. You can see all of the patterns here. This is what's left over when you cut hundreds of cards literally for a class. So if you did try it, then this was the scraps left from that. So I don't have a whole lot of the paper right now, and you know, it's always a good feeling, at least for me, when you've used a whole packet of paper. Some of the patterns are really pretty. You can see them here. You can go look online at the patterns or in your catalog. So I often don't order another one because we'll have a mini catalog coming out soon. There's some special online exclusive paper. So to show you all the individual things, I don't have another one. Then I'm going to use, this paper is not on sale, but it is fabulous. This is the hologram paper. It goes from pinks to purples. I've cut off this whole section of pink. This was a card that we did, maybe I have a whole one of it in here, at my in-person camp last week. So here's the holographic paper, and here you go. You can see how it goes from pink to the purple. And then we have this. This is, you'll find it if you have your catalog. It's over with the outer space stuff. The little astronaut guy. I love this piece here. This piece, it has so many uses. My daughter actually, I don't think any of them will watch. She did her Will You Be My Bridesmaids cards. And she used that paper. So it's outer space, but it is not, she did not use it at outer space at all. I don't have any of those. I cut them all up for her, but I don't have any to show you. So we're using that. I told you there's a bunch of stuff on this. And then I'm going to use the Wanted to Say dies. So I'm using the happy birthday and the stars, but there is a celebrate, there's a bow, flowers, hearts, a package, and then the feel better soon. And this one says you're too kind. So they have layering things, and I'll show you on this card when I do it how these work. They're just standalone dies, and you can find them in the back of the catalog. And when you find them in the back, it will tell you a page where you can go see samples of it. So let's decide how we want to start with this. So let's do those dies first. We'll do all the die cutting first. This is the window sheets that is part of the birthday suite. Then we have this. So I'm going to use two different kinds of adhesive just to show you two different ones. At camp, we did not use these because I pulled the cards together literally a day before they came, and it just didn't occur to me. We used glue. So you can use glue, and when we get to the end, I'll show you the difference between using these adhesives and using the glues. So this is our foam adhesive sheets. It comes in a package like this. It's dimensionals that are not cut up. That's really what it is. So I'm going to take this piece here because this is going to be my happy birthday, and I would like for it to be lifted up. So I'm just going to cut this one. My cat has gone into my closet. You can do it so you don't waste stuff. So it can be a little bit smaller because this isn't going to go right to the edge, but not a whole lot because I don't want any of my letters to collapse. So we have that. And then let's go ahead and use a piece for my stars. I have a smaller piece in here. I always just stick it back in here. I could put this, I should put it in one of those things like I put my paper in. But this way you're not wasting it. You're just gonna put your paper on here, which is kind of cut the right size, maybe. Sometimes for camp I give them extras. No, that's pretty good. So you just wanna trim it. And then when you get to the tiny pieces that are left that you won't really use for this, it's just dimensional, so don't throw any of that scrap away. This is the size of a mini dimensional. So if you're in club, you can always get an adhesive package to add to your club or any of my online classes. And I think next month I'm gonna have some special add-ons for all of my club, kind of a half year special. So I'm gonna have the paper trimmer, the cut and emboss machine, and then I'm gonna have an adhesive packet that includes these things. So if you're in club, you can get those and I'll pay your shipping and handling and tax and just include it with your club packet. Now this one is the adhesive sheets. So these are foam adhesive sheets and these are adhesive sheets. And I won't tell you how many times I have ordered the wrong one. Thankfully, I just have lots of both of them. So we used to have these a long time ago and they were 12 by 12. They're 6 by 6 now. The 6 by 6 is a much easier size, I think, to use. And it's just, it makes everything into a sticker. But you can see on this one, it's got creases in it. The old ones didn't have that. So you had a 12 by 12 piece of paper that then didn't have any place to pull it up. I'm gonna take this. This has a silver side and a gold side. I used the gold side on my other one. Maybe we'll go for silver on this one because we're using the silver stars. So again, that'll work. This one, it doesn't matter if it doesn't hit every single spot because it's flat. So if there's a piece that doesn't get adhesive, we'll be good. So there's the two adhesives we're gonna use on this card. On my other card, we used fine tip glue. So at the end, we will compare those. So for this, you just like if you were using a dimensional, pull that off. Stick that on. Now, here's a tip. You wanna make sure, see how I did that? I kind of did it on purpose. You wanna make sure that there's nothing that is sticking over that is sticky on this side, because when you run it through your cut and emboss machine, it's gonna stick to the plate if that's there. So we'll do this one. It's really important on the adhesive sheets. If you have your cut and emboss, I don't see mine and I'm gonna need it. I haven't unpacked everything from camp. I'm gonna need my pokey tool with the adhesive thing for the embellishments we're using later. So just stick this on here. Now you can see why it's also better to cut these just a tad smaller, because if you cut them the exact same height or shape, you always have to trim it. Now this one we're gonna take, I think that I didn't get any of the pre-perforated, but you pull off one side and it makes a sticker. So you can see this is sticky, this is not sticky. And take this, put this on here, and then just kind of press that on. Now to trim these, here's a little tip. We have two different kinds of adhesive, right? This one's high and the other one's low. If we cut them at the same time, the low one's not gonna get cut quite as well. So let's do the high ones first. Stick this on here. I'm gonna move that up because I'll be able to reuse this down here for something else. Because see, I told you at camp I often cut things bigger just so they have space. Because you know you're talking at camp and having fun. Put those stars on there. And then I do usually run these through twice because it's cutting through layers. So once and then twice. You want to make sure that it didn't skip, because if it bounced around. And then I roll this out. I'm gonna make sure it went all the way through. So grab your two plates, hold them tightly. And then you can see if it cut here. I can't tell that it did cut because my other one is one that used at camp, so it says happy birthday on it. So I'm just gonna roll it through this way now, and that'll get that back side just to make sure that everything has cut. So now you can see it's cut all the way through. And now I'm gonna put this one on here. So the dies, I told you it comes with the words and it comes with a back. It's more pronounced if you do this on a piece of just regular cardstock. And that is the window sheet cutting. And again, I'm going to go through twice because it's more than one layer of things. So that's that for now. We're going to use an embossing folder in a second, so I'll move those out. But first we need to do a little bit of stamping. Grab this. For this card, I have Lemon Lime Twist, the back, and then I have a 4 by 5 1/4 sheet of white, and then this is 5 1/2, 5 1/4 by 3 because it's a 6 by 6 paper. I designed the card using the star paper, but we didn't have enough for everybody to have stars, so it doesn't matter. These are the same color combination, and the overall look of the card will be the same. So you can see this is going to go on here. If you have your own package of cardstock, you don't have to do this outside stamping part. If you don't want to, you could cut this 4, but I needed to get more pieces for camp. So 3 gives me 2 per sheet of 4-inch would just give me 1. So we're just going to fill in these edges here. So this stamp set comes with all these tiny little pieces. Here's some tiny little stars. So I'm just going to do a border. These are straight stars, but I don't want them straight because there's no way I can do all of this straight. So I'm just going to fill this up. And again, my other piece of paper goes all the way across from top to bottom. So I don't have to worry about just doing the edges. And then I am going to stamp the inside of this card. So on here, I'm going to use the little green. You can do this on a white one if you want. I'm just going to do straight on the Lemon Lime Twist. Now I'm going to use fresh freesia. You could use, there's tons of colors in this that you can use. So here's the Lemon Lime Twist, the freesia, and the Blueberry Bushel. Those are the ones I chose, but there's other colors. There's Peacock and the Lemon Lolly. And then because these go over the top of each other, there's like a random color. I'm not quite sure what that is. But here's a little tip. I'm going to use Blueberry Bushel, and especially right now while my Blueberry Bushel pad is brand new. If I do it first and then I stamp freesia over the top of it, there's a chance that it could just pull off a little bit of ink and put it on my pad. So go from your lightest to darkest. This is just a little confetti piece. Get our card. I'm just going to add a little bit of confetti like it's falling down the sides of this. It'll just look like somebody threw it from the edge of the card. And now our Blueberry Bushel and the last piece of confetti. And this one you want to do more because of the way the confetti goes to make sure that it's falling down and not sideways. I guess there could be a gust of wind at your party. And this one I'm not doing as many as the others just because the blueberry is such a bold color. I'll do one the other way. There's 2 pieces of confetti in this way. It makes it look like came from both directions. So we have that. Now I'm going to grab this, and the stamp set says, I think it's time for a celebration. And the blueberry will work perfectly on this card to show up. That's why I don't have to use a white piece on the inside if you don't want to. Because now the inside of our card is super cute, and it's done. But I'm not going to add any blue confetti to it. Now I'm going to take my regular seal. Just gonna go ahead and stick this piece here. Just right in the middle, and now we have that fun border, and it allows you to use 2 pieces. I mean, you get 2 cards out of 1 piece of paper. I'm going to take the dots. I'm using a couple of the online exclusive items because they're not in a catalog. And so Sometimes these are new. They come in, are new-ish. They come in a set of 3. So this is the polka dots. But because they're not in a catalog, I think sometimes you guys forget that they're there. So and especially the one I'm going to use in a minute, I'm sure we've all forgotten it's there because as soon as they were available, they sold out. And then they got more in, and by then everybody was kind of like moved past it. And they were some of my favorites. So I'm just going to run this through. And you can do, depending on how fat your cardstock is, sometimes you can, and your machine. One of my machines, I can do 4 pieces of cardstock through a folder, because when we do classes, then I'll do a lot of them. But this just adds that fun polka dots, kind of like a confetti. Now let's stick all this together. So let's start with our window sheet piece here, and it's going to come off as one full piece. And sometimes it can be a little difficult to get the sticker off, so just grab take your pick tool, and you just need to kind of lift it up. And once it lifts up, you're good. It's getting ready to rain here. It's not a very pretty day. Although the not very pretty days, I can't work out by the pool, so I do get a little bit more done. So just pull this off. I try to not let it tear. You can see right here, that's the middle part. But if you let a piece of it tear on here, then you just have to take your pick tool and kind of work it up again. So just go slow enough, and then you have this fun little sticker. So I'm just gonna stick it right here. And again, I could have done this, like it'd be cute if I did it on the Lemon Lime Twist cardstock and would have had that little background for it. But my husband accidentally cut like 100 of these, and we didn't need them for Try It class. So I'm gonna be using those in fun ways to kind of use them up. Now let's take this. And again, this one comes in 2 pieces because there's 2 words and they're not connected. So the back is just the straight adhesive. So we don't need all of that. I'm gonna make sure this stuff doesn't get stuck on your table, because then you have to peel it all up. So with it, you wanna make sure you don't get the centers. So again, I think it's easier to just kind of pull it. It's not hard, you just want to make sure that you get all of the pieces. So knock those out, because once they're stuck on here, it's sticky. Okay, and then this just goes right over its little bubble. So on this particular card, it's just going to give it a little bit of a highlight. So you can, in your eyes, see it as if we had like a green piece of paper or the lemon lolly or one of the other colors behind there. I just thought it was kind of a, you can see it, I think, probably better in person than you're going to be able to see it on camera, because the window sheet is shiny. Isn't that fun? Now let's do the happy. Less words, but more things in the middle. I mean, less letters, but more things in the middle of this than there were on the other, because the P's will have 2. Okay, those are all poked out. I feel like I have some stuck on my fingers still. Now, isn't that fun? I do like it better popped up than I do on my original card, but if you don't have the adhesive sheets, it's cute the other way too. So I'm going to show you both. Now for the ribbon on this one, I'm going to take, oh, I meant to look, this is a trio of ribbons. It comes in the bubble bath, the lemon lolly, and one of the blues. But I look down below the video or on my website for everything I used on this card, because I don't remember what it's called. And when they come like this, there's no writing on them, so I can't cheat and look at the ribbon itself, because the writing's on the sticker on the bag. Oh, I do have one. You can see one. I need to clean up my stamping space. We went on the cruise, we went on vacation. So this is the sheer ribbon combo pack, and here's the 2 colors, and then there's blue, which I don't have much of because, again, we used it in the Try It class. Now on this one, I'm going to use I have all of my adhesives here, but I'm going to just go ahead and use my seal. Put that there, flip it over. tie this around. And the nice thing about the seal, if this is, see, that looks bad because I had it upside down, so the seal doesn't stick until it's been stuck for a minute. So I want to get my loop over the top. That's why I like doing my ribbons this way, because you can kind of make them do whatever you want. It's not like you tie it the other around and then they're kind of at the whim of however the ribbon's going to go. I do have, starting today, just for a couple of days, I have some bonus thank you gifts. So I always do thank you gifts every month, but this month I have a couple of bonus ones because I don't have another class. I don't do as many classes in the summer. And now that my daughter's getting married, we have appointments after appointments after appointments after appointments to get the wedding stuff going. So I didn't schedule very many classes with the vision of being able to sit out and enjoy life a little bit, but you know, that'll happen next summer. So there's those cute little stars. Super fun, just kind of make them look like they're coming down off the ribbon. And then for my original card, I used the Tinsel Gems 3-pack, which I only have 2 colors left of. But for this one, this is another online exclusive, and these are the loose frosted dots. I love them. So if you go back to February, March, when they were first coming out, they sold out like the day that they came out. And so it's been a minute for them to come back in, but these are the same colors. It's going to make the card be a little bit, because of the peacock, it's going to be a little bit stronger of a card than these. So we'll be able to compare the two. You could use the blue ribbon on this and tie a knot if you want it to be a guy card. So I'm just going to add some dots, and because they're loose like this, you can really use a lot more of them than you can when you're using the, well, I think embellishments belong on a card and not in the package. But when they're loose like this, I'm just going to add all those little dots, kind of make the end like the confetti's coming down off of it. Has that little pin, so you can stick that back in there. And then this is our take your pick tool. And I have the little picky up thing. So I'm just going to grab these now and find all of the places that I stuck the. No. These come in 3 colors and 3 different sizes. So I'm going to try to get a little variety of them on here. And if I was making this card for my dad or something, I might not put any of the pinks on, because even though there's pink in the overall card, by not using the pink, you could get it to focus more on the other colors. But the online exclusives, you have to go to my website, and it will say, there's a place that says online exclusives, and you look those up, and that is stuff that isn't in a catalog, will never be in a catalog. It's only just online, as the name implies. Now, once you have your things on where it looks like you got, oh, there's a glue piece that I missed. Then I always count them. I just want to make sure that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I have an even number, and I like to go with odds, except for this has these little stars here, which are odd numbers. So for this particular card, I think we're okay like that. Then I took my Wink of Stella and just kind of on the darker balloons on this one, circles, whatever they are, I just added a little bit. Could have done that before I put those on. Just a little bit of sparkle, and not on all of them, just a little bit. Kind of brighten up that paper. So here's this one with how much fun it is to have that raised up. And because it's raised up, I think you notice the window sheet behind it a little bit more. It just kind of looks like glass. It makes it look a little fun, gives it a little bit more shimmer. Here's the other one. So this one has the star paper, which I was out of. It carried the theme of the stars through. It has the Tinsel Gems, but the main difference, well, the paper is probably the main difference, but this was adhered with the fine tip glue. So we did fine tip glue on top of the happy birthday, and then I just did a little bit of fine tip glue But what happens is because this went through that embossing folder, it didn't stick everywhere. It also sometimes, you know, once people have looked at it at class, it kind of, it's a little bit more than going through the mail. So this gives it, I think, a more structured look when you use those two adhesives as opposed to the glue, but either one will work. And I like the addition of those peacock on there to kind of match that. This one I just used the freesia color. So that's what I have for you today. I have a couple of other videos, and if you're in Card Club, your club will mail in a day or two. We're almost finished with it, so it has to be, we have to run the rest of the things through an embossing folder and then make your packets. So it should be in the mail Wednesday, Thursday at the latest. Have a great one. Bye.